Welcome to Jhonna Unfiltered. I'm Jhonna, and this is my personal learning diary where I dive into life, personalities, and my fascination with nature and pets. Just a quick reminder, I'm not a vet or a professional dog trainer. I'm a researcher and educator sharing what I find on my journey of solo living here in the Philippines. So let's talk about a dog that most people have never even heard of, but once you see it, you won't forget it. The Basset Bleu de Gascogne. Now, don't let the fancy French name fool you, because this dog is not about style or showing off. It's about purpose, instinct, and a very specific kind of personality that not everyone is ready for. This breed came from France, from a place called Gascogne, and it was built for one thing: tracking animals for a long time without giving up. Not fast, not flashy, just steady, focused, and stubborn in a very real way. And that right there already tells you a lot about what kind of dog this is going to be inside your home. Picture this: hunters walking slowly through the forest, not running, not rushing, just following a dog that refuses to quit. That dog is the Basset Bleu de Gascogne. It was bred to hunt rabbits and small animals, but not by chasing them fast. Instead, by following their scent, step by step, sometimes for hours. That's why this dog doesn't care if you call it 10 times. If it smells something interesting, your voice becomes background noise. Not because it's bad, but because its brain is wired differently. The nose comes first, always. Now let's talk about how it looks, because this is where people get confused. The word blue is in the name, but the dog is not actually blue like the sky. What you see is a mix of black and white hairs, very tiny spots all over the coat, and when your eyes blend those colors together, it gives off this bluish, smoky look. It's more like an illusion than an actual color. On top of that, you'll notice black patches, usually around the head and body, and then soft tan marks, especially above the eyes. Some people say it looks like the dog has 4 eyes because of those tan spots. The body is classic Basset, which means long and low. Short legs, long back, heavy bones, and a deep chest. That deep chest is not just for looks. It helps the lungs work better, so the dog can keep going for a long time without getting tired. The ears are very long, soft, and hang low, and this is not random either. Those ears actually help trap scent near the nose, making the dog even better at tracking. So basically, everything about this dog is designed for one job: follow the smell and don't stop. Now here's where people either fall in love with this breed or regret it: the personality. This dog is gentle, calm, and not aggressive. It can live well with families, even with kids, and usually gets along with other dogs because it was raised to work in packs. But don't expect it to act like a robot that follows every command. This is not that kind of dog. It's independent, meaning it thinks for itself. When you give a command, it doesn't just obey. It kind of decides if it wants to listen. And this is where many owners make a mistake. They think the dog is being stubborn or disrespectful. But the truth is, the dog is just doing what it was designed to do. Imagine telling a professional tracker to stop in the middle of a job just because you said so. That's what it feels like for them. So instead of fighting that nature, you have to work with it. Use food, use rewards, keep training short, and don't expect perfection. Energy-wise, this dog is not lazy, but it's also not hyper. It needs daily walks, at least once or twice, and more importantly, it needs time to sniff. Not just walk straight, but actually explore. If you don't give that, the dog will find its own entertainment, and that can mean barking, digging, or trying to escape. Yes, escape is a real risk here. If this dog catches a scent, and your yard is not secure, it will follow that trail without thinking twice. Now, let's be honest about training. It's not easy. This is not a beginner-friendly dog if you expect quick results. It's smart, but it learns in its own way. Harsh discipline does not work here. In fact, it makes things worse because the dog will just shut down or ignore you more. What works is patience, consistency, and rewards. Food is your best friend here. Living conditions matter too. Ideally, this dog should be in a house with a secure yard. Apartment living is possible, but only if you are very committed to daily exercise and managing noise. Because, yes, this dog can be vocal. Not just barking, but a deep, long howl, sometimes called a bay. Some people love it, others don't. It depends on your tolerance. Health-wise, there are a few things you need to watch. The long ears can trap moisture, which can lead to infections, so cleaning them regularly is very important. The body shape also means you have to control weight because extra weight puts stress on the joints. And like many deep-chested dogs, there is a small risk of bloat, which is serious, so avoid heavy activity right after eating. Grooming is simple. The coat is short, so brushing once a week is enough. Bathing only when needed. Nails should be trimmed regularly, and again, ears need attention. Diet should be balanced, not too much food, because this dog loves to eat and can gain weight easily. Now here's something interesting. If you think you saw this dog online, there's a big chance you actually saw a different breed. This one is rare, especially outside Europe. It often gets confused with similar-looking dogs. One is the Basset Hound, which is heavier, with more loose skin and a more droopy look. Another is the Basset Artesian Normand, which has a similar shape but different coloring, usually without that blue mottled coat. Then there's the Bleu de Gascogne, which looks almost the same in color and face, but much taller, like the big version of this dog. And if the dog looks messy or shaggy, that might be the Petit Basset Griffon Vendine, which has a rough coat instead of smooth. So if you're trying to identify one from a video or photo, you really have to look closely at the coat pattern, the size, and the texture of the fur. Now, let's be real for a second. This is not a dog for someone who wants instant obedience, or a pet that just sits quietly and follows commands all day. This is a dog for someone who understands independence, who enjoys slow walks, who doesn't mind a bit of stubborn behavior, and who respects the dog's natural instincts. If you can accept that, then this dog can be a calm, loyal, and very unique companion. But if you want control, quick training, and low effort, this is not the right match. So now I'm curious, if you had a dog like this, one that follows its nose more than your voice, would you find that frustrating, or would you actually respect it and learn to work with it? Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I want to be upfront and share that I use this text-to-speech voice to tell my stories because, as a full-time ESL teacher, I have to be very careful with my vocal cords. Managing vocal nodules means I have to save my voice for my students, but I didn't want that to stop me from sharing these unfiltered thoughts with you. I'm Jhonna, and I'm currently working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can finally monetize this channel and turn this passion into a sustainable part of my future. This is my diary of solo living here in the Philippines, and your support, whether through a comment or a sub, helps me keep this channel growing. If you would like to help out even more, you can check out the Buy a Treat for My Pets link in the description. My dogs definitely appreciate the love. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next update. Thank you for being such an important part of this journey. I'm Jhonna, and I will see you in the next one.